Well, good evening. Happy New Year to everyone present and who might be viewing us from outside the chambers. This is the Public Safety Commission meeting for January 11th, 2024. It is 1800 hours, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Gerald, could we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Cross,
Present.
Commissioner Martin Mitchell,
Present.
Vice Chair Lozano is absent, and Chairman Kenneth Mitchell.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Cross, could we have you do the Pledge of Allegiance for us?
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. So we are at a quorum level, the three of us this evening. We have one absent and we have a vacancy, so we'll proceed as we can. Has everyone had a chance to review the agenda?
Yes.
We have? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve it.
I move that we approve the agenda for January 11th, 2024.
I second the motion.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Can we go ahead and proceed with a vote?
Yes.
There we go.
Katie, yours isn't registering. Is your vote at 9?
Yeah, it's not popping up.
Thank you.
Let me see.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and clear that. Now, have we each had the opportunity to review the minutes of the December meeting?
Yes.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve them.
I
I
move
move-
that, I move that we approve the minutes from December 14th, 2023.
I second the motion.
Okay. Motion made and seconded. If there's no discussion, please vote.
And Commissioner Cross, is your vote aye?
Yeah, it's not popping up, so we might just have to do oral for this meeting.
Thank you.
All right, it appears that it passed with the three of us, so. Very well. I don't see anyone in the gallery for public comments. Has anyone submitted any speaker cards? And we're not doing anything from cyberspace anymore. So we will go ahead and forego the admonition for public comments. We'll close that portion of the meeting at this time. We will move directly into the administrative reports, and first up will be the Code Enforcement Monthly Report.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. So in December of 2023, code compliance received 97 service requests. We did a total of 339 inspections. We issued a total of 69 notices of violation. We issued 48 citations totaling in $48,000. We removed 16 shopping carts from the public right-of-way. And Code Compliance Officer Messer had an active case on Catalpa. It was opened in May for overgrown vegetation and a dilapidated fence and a dilapidated roof. After several months, the property came into compliance on December 4th, 2023. I've attached some photos in the back of the report to show you. The vacation rental compliance team launched all the amendments to the vacation rental ordinance. The team worked diligently to implement and update processes related to the amended vacation rental regulations. The city's website was updated to
Thank you very
include
much.
frequently asked questions and helpful links and the news section. Additionally, the geographic information portal was developed and launched to create a new 500-foot radius distance so we can map that out for the new ordinance. Compliance Officer Valdez opened a case for a vacant parcel for trash, junk, unpaved parking, trailer storage, and several discarded household items that were dumped on the vacant parcel. Officer Valdez issued notices to the property owner who complied with all the corrections. Compliance Officer Human opened a case for a vacant parcel for trash, junk, dead vegetation, and a fire hazard. Officer Human issued several notices to the property owner. She issued several citations to the property owner as well, and the property owner eventually complied.
Okay, thank you. Questions for the code compliance officer?
Yes, for vacation rentals, were the owners of those rentals informed directly of the new code, or were they just, have to go on the website to find out the new regulations? And also, the ones that are within 500 feet of each other, how is that being handled? Were they grandfathered in, or do they have to comply with the new regs?
Yeah, so if they already have a license, a vacation rental license, obviously we're gonna let them keep it. They're gonna be grandfathered in. We're not gonna revoke it because they're within 500 feet of another one that's out there. But if they fail to renew their license, and there is one within 500 feet, then they won't be able to have that license no longer. It'll expire.
Commissioner Cross, any questions for code compliance?
No, thank you.
I think Commissioner Mitchell asked the question that I had regarding the vacation rental compliance team. I did have a question. I'm going to wait until the commission reports regarding code compliance and the installation of cameras. I've been getting some feedback from residents regarding trash and illegal dumping within the city limits. It's starting to ramp up a bit, and it's been a concern. But I'll get into efforts how we can go about mitigating that a little bit later. So in the interim, thank you for the report. All right, that brings us to the monthly report from Animal Control.
Good evening. So for the ACO month of December, we initiated off with 59 intakes, 19 returned to owners, 20 sent to rescue, 4 adopted. We've had 0 sent to, For rescue, we had 20 sent to rescue. We had 4 adopted, 0 to CVAC. We've had 10 taken to the vet, 19 deceased on arrival, 0 passed away. We've had 4 euthanized, 37 licenses, 21 admin citations, 27 warning citations, 246 calls for service, and spayed and neutered, microchipped, approximately 30 animals.
Okay, thank you. Questions for Animal Control?
No questions.
So one question I've gotten, and I'm pretty sure the answer is yes, is would our shelter be considered a no-kill shelter?
Yes, that is correct. There are some exceptions. However, they're very based on circumstantial. If they're severely, they have a severe injury, then we'll have to go down to that. However, circumstances call for it, then we will have to humanely euthanize.
Okay, thank you. And then would you consider, or would you think that we're close to capacity?
For however long I've been here, for close to a year, we've been pretty much over the top.
Okay.
So pretty much over capacity. We do tend to try to expand our shelter.
Okay.
However, sometimes it does cap off at a specific limit. So.
Okay, thank you very much. And what would that limit be? Do you know?
It depends. So specifically on our hacienda shelter, that's going to be about approximately 24.
Okay.
Okay. So for the one that the addition, Indian Canyon, we don't have an approximate number on that. We're still doing inventory for how many shelter spaces we have.
Okay, thank you very much.
And just to add on to that, when you talk about the total population of animals at either shelter with the Indian Canyon facility forthcoming, is that the entire universe of animals? Do you segregate, or is there a specific area for cats, birds, dogs, horses? How do you do
No,
that?
so because our main population is for canines, that's what I'm specifying. So we have 24 kennels for canines. We do have a specific cat room. Also for the Humane Society, there is a cat house. So as of right now, we are not overpopulated in those other sections. The priority right now is going to be for canines, and that's usually our overpopulation.
Okay. Thank you for that. Any further questions? Okay. Well, with that being said, keep it moving. We'll go to the fire department report.
Hi, Chief McDonald stepping in for Chief White today. I do have December's report and I also have the quarterly report if you'd like to briefly hear both of them.
Sure.
December's report shows 500 calls within the city, roughly about 40 of them fires, to include 2 residential structure fires, 2 vehicle fires. Remaining calls balanced out at 394 medical aids and about 41 false alarms. Receiving about 108 mutual aid requests within the city, which also included the response of 5 breathing support responses, patrol, PIO, trucks, and quints within the month. For Engine 36, I do have the stats for you this month for the
Okay.
response within the jurisdiction. Month of December, Engine 36 responded into the city DHS 135 times. 22 false alarms, 90 medical aids, and it looks like about roughly 15 fire assists within the city. So I conclude the month of December. For the quarterly report, roughly had 40 fires within the city, to include 22 other fires, 4 residential structure fires, 3 vehicle fires, 10 wildland fires, and the remainder of the calls balance out at about 1,059 medical aids, 38 public assists, 19 standbys, and 70 traffic collisions, again for a total of 1,338. Received 306 mutual aids into the city, which included breathing support, brush rigs, engines, other engines, PIOs, patrols, squads, and quints, for a total of 825 mutual aid requests from those various rigs. For the quarter, for Engine 36, their response within the city was 391 total incidents, 62 false alarms, 253 medicals, 4 residential structure fires, 12 public assists, 29 traffic collisions, 8 wildland fires. Again, for a total of 391 responses within the city. And that concludes the report for fire department.
Okay, questions for fire?
No.
For me, it's just a clarification question. I've been looking at this for a whole year, and it just dawned on me that for the plus 5 minutes, plus 10 minutes, and plus 20 minutes, are those mutually exclusive categories? In other words, the plus 10, is that included in the plus 5, or is it excluded?
No, that'll be excluding the plus.
Okay,
5.
I
So
just,
it'd
because,
be-
you know, it's clear to me, but if someone else is looking at this report, they may not, understand that it is excluded. But I just wanted to clarify. Okay, thank you.
And that's no questions, correct, Commissioner Crowe? Okay. Okay. Well, when we talk about mutual aid received, we're talking about other units within Riverside County Fire, correct?
Correct, part of our mutual fire system.
Right, part of your mutual fire system. We're not talking about, say, calling in Palm Springs, calling in Cat City, calling in...
I can't speak specifically to whether Palm Springs or Cathedral City is included in this report. I would have to clarify with Chief White or our analyst to be sure.
Okay.
If it is, say, of the 756, it essentially would be an engine response. That's generally what we get from them.
Right.
If it was of the 756 for the quarter, I would assume it's probably less than 5 responses, 5 to 10 responses from them.
Okay.
So we generally get a response from them on mutual aid, on the mutual aid side of things, on a working structure fire, where it's a confirmed working structure fire, or an incident where it's going to escalate beyond about 5 engines or so is when we'll get their
Okay.
response.
All right. And you use the traditional alarm dispatches? First alarm, second alarm, or do you just go, I guess what they call the LA City way of major emergency and just give me 10 triples, 10 task forces or whatever? however
We do the
they that.
traditional alarms, double the first alarm and triple this first alarm as the
Okay.
second alarm.
All right. That's good. And I believe I know where truck 33 is. I don't know where truck 17 is.
So truck 17, I'm not sure, and the analyst couldn't tell me, Chief Whiting get back to me, we couldn't figure out why truck 17 responded. That's the truck from Harupa. There was a potential for them to come out here when we had the major flooding, although they did not make it out here. But that is, truck 17 is one of our cooperative fire services trucks out of Harupa Valley, which we manage their fire service as well.
Yeah. Wow.
But I cannot speak to why they come across on our sheet.
That's a haul.
Yeah.
I would, that kind of relates back to the question I had about mutual aid. If we in this jurisdiction were, basically that on our knees looking for a truck company, and I don't know whether Palm Springs or Cat City, or if they were sitting in quarters, if they were available, if they could
Yeah.
be tapped in. I know Palm Springs is probably loath to give up their truck
Yeah.
because of the hazards they have within their city.
Yeah,
But-
we work well with both those cities, and we get mutual aid should we request it from them.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a truck out of Indio that could respond.
Right.
And then we have the truck out of Morongo Reservation.
Nice.
Not up the hill Morongo, but Morongo, like the casino area.
Oh,
Morongo.
okay.
They have a truck company out there that could receive mutual aid from them as well.
I see. All
So
right.
it's very unlikely that truck 17 came out. There's about 7 trucks in between them and us, so I'm not sure where that stat came from.
Yeah, there wouldn't be a truck 7, would there? Would that be anywhere close by?
No.
There's one more question I had for fire, and that is, let's see. We have the quarterly report and we have the monthly report. Do we have an annual report that ties it all together for the entirety of 2023?
We did not get an annual report.
We don't get them. Okay.
I can get you one. We can get one for next meeting. We can get an annual report.
Okay.
I did not have one for this meeting.
Well, that's fine. I think we graduated from monthly, then we requested quarterly, so we're just gonna keep going baby steps until we get the other kinds of reports that we're looking for. So if that's possible, if that's not too much trouble, we'd appreciate it.
I'll email Chief White.
Yeah, it's definitely, when you look at the status of Station 37 and the number of calls that they're running and how busy they are, it's much more relatable to say, this is how many calls they're running a year.
Yeah.
And this is why they need the backup that we keep pushing for.
Yeah.
Paramedic squad and eventually the Quint. So I appreciate that.
Engine 37 did run 5,382 calls this year.
Yeah. I think before my combined fire department that I worked for in the Bay Area, just before it split up in 2011, 3 engines and a truck combined ran about 1,000 calls less than that. So that's impressive what Engine 37's doing, and we're going to try and get them the help as soon as we can.
We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Okay. And if we could move to the police department report.
Good evening. For the month of December, we have total calls, including calls of service, accidents, and officer initiated, 3,443. Total of 497 traffic stops, total of 85 arrests, and total of 328 citations. There was 1 reported homicide for the month of December, 7 aggravated assaults, 15 simple assaults, 1 robbery, 2 kidnappings, 15 theft offenses, 11 motor vehicle offenses, and 3 reported vandalisms and 1 weapons violation. We currently have an officer going to the police academy within 2 weeks. He's going to pre-training next week, and then the following week, he's going to attend Ben Clark Training Center for the police academy. He'll be there for about 6 months, and we currently have an officer in training for the motorcycle. So he's in field training right now, so he should be out deployed in the field by the first or second week of February. And construction at the PD right now for the main buildings, all is going to be completed by the end of the month, should be completed, and they should move to the next phase mid-year when they start breaking ground.
Questions for law enforcement?
I have none.
Okay. When we talk about, I see all in the far right-hand column, we had one manslaughter for the year. I guess it occurred back in May.
Mhm.
Is this a non-negligent manslaughter? If you can divulge that? Or is
I
that
have
just
to review it. I believe it is a vehicular manslaughter case. I'm not
Okay.
100% sure that might be the case if I am thinking about it. So it's a vehicle manslaughter case.
Okay. How is everything melding with the NIBR system? Are we s-
Still working on it with the reports in our CAT RMS system, so we're still trying to work out the kinks. I was looking at the Group A offenses, so some of it's not showing, including the homicides. The reports have to be approved first before the NIBRS has the correct data in it. So we're working on that right now.
Okay. Now, has NIBR superseded like the older, like Clemars and those systems? Or
Yeah.
those still, it superseded that too? It's all
That's
drawing
the
it
newest
together.
thing coming in is NIBRS now, so.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that goes quite a way. CLETS too?
Well, no, CLET's different, but it's UCR, so NIBRS is taking over UCR, the Uniform Crime Reports now. So
Okay.
the CLETS is just like a teletype system or record system. That's what it is.
Okay. Okay. Digging into the archives a little bit there. Flashing back. All right, well, thank you. No further questions for law enforcement. We're going to move over to the commissioner reports. Who would like to go first?
I can go first. Okay, so I think there's a few things we agree on, and I'd like to motion to get them on the next agenda. So I know illegal dumping has come up a few times. I would like to make a motion to get possible solutions or ways to mitigate illegal dumping on the next agenda, so we can talk about it further.
Okay. What about Gerald? Do we need to make a motion for that, or we can just put that on the agenda for next meeting?
No, so the policy for adding items to the agenda is consistent with city council, so it takes either two commissioners or the chair to add an item.
Okay. Well, I'm comfortable adding that item.
Okay,
You know, we can
sounds
go ahead and
good.
bring that up.
All right, and then one more, and I would understand if you might want to wait until we have more commissioners, but I would like to get it on the agenda to discuss possibly meeting in other locations, or at least, if that's not possible, hosting public forums that just one or as many commissioners that can make it could attend. I went through the municipal code, and all it said in regards to like venues is that it should be hosted at the rec center, or another venue. So I feel like in accordance with the municipal code, if we have public notice, it might be possible to host a meeting elsewhere. If there's disagreement on that, I would at least like to host events where we can talk with the public.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. It's something we've been talking about since I've been on the commission, and the problem is it has to be televised. And I think there's only one place where, outside this venue, where we can televise it. That's the only problem. And also, we have talked about meeting with various groups. However, only two of us at a time can do it. Because if you have a third person, then technically you're violating the Brown Act. So, because you have a quorum at that point, and if anything's discussed that should be discussed in this forum, then we can get in trouble. So,
Okay.
yes, I'm in total agreement with having those types of forums. We have to decide who's going to go and when.
Okay.
So that's,
Yeah, so I say we can maybe iron out those details, but let's maybe get it on the next agenda.
Well, the thing I think which I'm trying to capture what's
Yeah.
being said, and I think with regards to holding a meeting in another venue,
Yes.
it would be all five of us, and it would just be taking this meeting, this forum, picking it up and moving it elsewhere.
Yes.
Which, and I think, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's permitted within the Muni Code to use the rec center for that, then that would be the first venue that would come to mind just for moving a meeting off-site.
Mhm.
Because that has been brought up in the past by, council members have approached us and asked us if that was possible for us to do. So we can go ahead and, I'd like to take a little bit closer look at the Muni Code.
Mhm.
And definitely, because once we get another commissioner up here, there might be a slight change in the command structure at that point.
Yes.
So we'd have to go ahead and make sure everybody's on the same page. As far as attracting, meeting with groups outside, I think, Commissioner Mitchell mentioned before, meeting with HOAs and things like that.
Yes.
He's absolutely correct. And when it comes to those types of, events and those types of meetings, it has to be no more than two of us at a time.
Okay.
And furthermore, not only can it be two of us at a time, but then, say if you and I were to attend a meeting like that,
Mhm.
then I can't come to him and divulge what happened there, because now it becomes a serial meeting. That brings up an interesting point. Usually, once a year, we have the city attorney come out, and she actually helps us set the parameters and
Okay.
gets us online with the Muni Code and things like that. It would probably be best to have her come out and explain it to us.
Yes. Yeah.
But if we
I
were to
would
do
agree.
that, yeah, we would have
Um,
all commissioners up here to do that.
Yes, from my understanding, and of course, we want to get clarification, is that as long as there's public notice, it might be okay.
Yes.
But I completely agree that we should just talk to the city
Mhm.
attorney.
Yeah, and she's very skilled in distilling, the vast discipline of law and making it palatable for those of us who might be, lay people, per se.
Mhm.
I think you're correct too. I did read that in the Muni Code, but I would personally be more comfortable being edified by
Yeah,
someone
I
that's
agree.
even more than that. So, once we get the, commission, fully staffed, and we get everybody here, then we'll go ahead and move with that. So it's
Okay.
probably gonna wind up being agendized on the March meeting, I would guess. So we'll discuss that again at the February meeting.
Yeah. Hopefully, we have another commissioner by then.
I certainly hope so. All right, well, that was one of the things I wanted to bring up, was it's come to my attention, I've been here 3 years. And since I've been here 3 years, this entire commission has turned over. We've had 5 people, leave since I've been here. And one of the ways I wound up being on the chair. The attraction and retention of commissioners is a concern of mine. Bringing people to participate and understand that we do provide an important function specified in the Muni Code. And I anticipate an audience coming up with the City Council Subcommittee that oversees us. And that would be council members Gardner and Pye. And talk to them not just for attracting more members, but a little bit more structure. I've done some research on public safety commissions in other cities, and there's actually delineated hours that they're supposed to be working, subjects they're supposed to be working, who they talk to, who reports to the city council on a certain basis. Maybe once every 3 months, somebody reports to the city council. It might be the chairperson, it might be someone else. But a little more direction would be appreciative, and I'm going to be exploring that in the near future. So, and I had a medical issue within my family. I was not able to attend the regional Public Safety Commission meeting. They are held at the Palm Desert Civic Complex. So if there's anyone that's other than myself that's able to attend, and you can attend it remotely. I think the next one might be in March. Don't quote me on that, but it's forthcoming. And it dovetails into my personal belief about getting as many regional and countywide agencies to help us out with public safety here in Desert Hot Springs. And, well, I think I've said enough.
And you
That's
touched on what I was thinking about. again, we've been talking about the public safety issue and earthquake preparedness and other types of emergency preparedness, and we really need to move forward on that issue as well as developing a national night out, something we had discussed as well for later on in the year. So those are items I think we need to move forward with once we get a full commission, and maybe we can break up into subgroups and work on many of those things.
Definitely. We can assign subcommittees to work on disaster preparedness, and one more presentation forthcoming on that I'm pursuing, and then and then divest it. But we've got 3 members up here right now. I'm looking forward to getting 5, and to go ahead and proceed on. There were some questions that were asked about on that subject from, I think it was Councilmember Betts. He wanted some specific knowledge about equipment caches and the participation of non-government entities and things, evacuation centers and those. And before this year is out, I'd like to have answers to him for those questions. So it's, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, I'd agree. Even if other government agencies will help us and we have a lot of their resources, I think we want to get a clear picture of all of those, right?
Mhm.
And then make sure that everyone, both throughout the city and then city officials are aware of that. And then I'm sure Russell Betts, he's also mentioned illegal dumping, so I'm
Yes.
sure he'll be happy to see that on the next agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a few different items here. I say once we have a full commission, we can kind of create a plan for each month to maybe focus on one of those, and then also break up into subcommittees so we can do more research. And then in the meantime, we can, us 3 can still look into them more.
Absolutely. And I think we're in complete agreement on that. Okay. Well, I'd like to thank the members of the city staff and Riverside County Fire for attending the meeting. And we appreciate everything you do, the hard work that you're doing. If there's to view a recording of this meeting and meetings of the Planning Commission and the City Council going back to 2009, please visit the website cityofdhs.org. And our next scheduled meeting, Gerald, do we have the date for our next scheduled meeting for Public Safety Commission?
It would be Thursday, February 8th.
It would be Thursday, February 8th at 6 p.m. in these chambers. Well, if there's nothing else, thank everyone for attending. We stand adjourned. Thank you and good night.